Saturn-Neptune conjunction went exact today, but that doesn't mean that we're out of the woods with that aspect. It'll gradually fade as they get farther and farther apart. This picture was taken in 1952, just after the first of 3 Saturn-Neptune conjunctions in Libra, and it was during the Great Smog of London. Neptune's literally the planet of fog. It's the planet of illusion. It's one of the main planets that makes things difficult to discern. It makes it difficult to see clearly. But Saturn does that too. Saturn makes things heavy, and it is heavily tied to reality, yes, but it still is responsible for obscuring vision, censoring, for example. So when the 2 planets come together archetypally, you get a lot of events that involve the kinds of things that we're dealing with now, but also things like a great fog, smog, that settled over an entire city for days and literally made it so that people couldn't see in front of them. There are quotes of people saying they literally couldn't see their feet, which is incredibly Neptunian, since it's associated heavily with Pisces, and Pisces rules the feet. It also stands out to me because, again, it didn't happen the day of the conjunction. I think a lot of times people want Mars energy or Uranus energy. When something is supposed to happen, they think, okay, it happened, now what, where is it? They expect it to manifest in front of them immediately or in the world around them immediately, and with astrology and in life, that doesn't usually happen. It happened, and then other things will trigger it, and it becomes visible and manifest. So with the Great Smog of London, what happened was the conjunction went exact, but also the prior lunar eclipse got activated by the transiting sun. If you look here, the sun in this chart is at 13 degrees of Sagittarius. This is the lunar eclipse prior to the Great Smog of London, and as you can see, it was at 13 degrees of Aquarius, and the sun was at 13 degrees of Leo. Not only that, but this is the full moon immediately prior to when the Great Smog of London happened, and as you can see, if you put the full moon against the chart of the previous lunar eclipse, it's pretty tightly conjunct the degree of the midheaven set for London. And it was indeed that month, or even within that 2-week period of that full moon in Gemini, that the Great Smog happened. Part of the reason that it stayed so long is there just wasn't any wind, and that wasn't normal. And I will say Mercury was retrograde in Sagittarius, sign of its detriment. Mercury was stationing as the fog started to lift.